red Opel, number FDI 881. Will you please remove it as it is causing an obstruction? The car is a red Opel and the number is FDI 881. Again, will the owner of car registered FDI 881, will he please remove the same? It is causing an obstruction. It is parked in the vicinity of the dressing room. Forward number 13 in your programme will play at right a half forward. Mickey O'Hara, number 11 on your programme, will play at left corner forward, place at midfield. There is one change then in personnel in the forward line. Ken Rollins does not play, and his place will be taken by Jerry Farr, who will line out at right corner forward. Now there are a number of positional changes in the Cashel forward line also. Jenny Bannon, number 13 on your programme, will play at centre half forward. Is Robin Lane, in the centre Jenny Bannon, and on the left is Des Bannon. And the full forward line is in the right corner is Jerry Farrell, full forward is Johnny Klein, and the left corner forward is David Dowd. Your referee for today's game is the St Mary's clubman Terry McGovern. His umpires are Michael Hilliard, Troy Slashers, Mick Joyce, Father Manning Gale, Kevin Durfin, Colin Kill, and Eamon Higgins of Forby. While the linesmen are Eddie Walsh, Ballymahan, and Eugene Murta of Sean Connolly. I have two special announcements to make. Number one, a student's card bearing the name of Roger Ryan of Fairbairn. A bunch of keys have been handed in, and there's a key ring attached to them with a common blue cloth to Gale, a centenary key ring attached to the keys. Again, the owner can have same if he comes here to the press box.
Welcome to Pearse Park on Sunday the 14th of September 1986 for the Senior Championship Final. The contestants in this year's final, which has been eagerly awaited, are Mostrim, the reigning champions, and Cashel, who were champions before them. There's a strong wind blowing diagonally across the field, but will be favouring the team playing from right to left. The referee for today will be Terry McGovern. The Mostrim team, we just run down them, they have absolutely no changes. Tom Gallagher, Pat Hughes, John Victory, Colin McGarrett, Tommy McGuinness, Joe McEnroe and Tony Garvey make up a very solid back division. Christy Candy and Willie Candy, brothers playing in the middle of the field, and Stephen Tierney and Liam Tierney, plus Fintan Jude are the half forwards. Sean Logan, Mel Noonan and Mickey O'Hara form a full forward line. Cashel line out with Anthony Melia, Sean Melia, Jim Kenny and Joe Mulvihill, Noel Mulvihill, Mick Casey and Mick Kenny. And as you can see, some very, very familiar and hardened individuals in that particular back division. Men of great experience. Brendan Smith and Porrick Carberry, formidable pair in the middle of the field, with Robin Lane, Davy Dowd and Des Bannon, the half forward line. Dilly Bannon, Johnny Klein and Jerry Farrell are the full forward line on our programme, but I don't think they'll be lining out like that. As you can see, we have the Mostrim team there running around. Jerry Lynn is seen there in the blue tracksuit, recently home from America. Probably introduced at some stage if the things aren't going well for Mostrim today. As you can see, it's a beautiful day. Apart from this wind, it's ideal football conditions. Terry throws up the magic coin. Joe McEnroe decides to play with the wind in the first half. Tommy O'Brien checks his watch, and Brendan Smith tells his team to switch around. As we say, eagerly awaited this game,
again, just before the
and as we can see, the Longford Pipe Band adding to the occasion, and we'll have the usual parade with the usual mascots, etc., etc.
And also a souvenir of first
the pitch is in beautiful condition,
some silver and some copper.
And one of the features of this game today will be Mel Noonan v Jim Kenny, and also the midfield confrontation between Brendan Smith, Porrick Carberry and the Kennedy brothers. A vital area of the field in any game, but today's game particularly. The Kennedys must win against all the odds at the middle of the field if Mostrim are to have much of a chance in this game today. As you can see, both teams tagged out beautifully. And they're getting a rousing reception there from the fans in the stand. A lot has been said also of this injury, even in national press, of Brendan Smith's supposed injury, and Cashel mentors and supporters and colleagues will wish him well today, and hopefully for Cashel's sake he'll be able to perform his duties. As you can see, he's a very heavily strapped left knee, and as you can see also he's taken over the captain's job for today. Flag waving there in the background. The cameraman. This is the time when most footballers dislike. They want to just get on with it. Tradition says they must do this, walk around the field. As you can see, the Mostrim men in the line there, somewhat smaller than their counterparts on the other side. Cashel, note for the big men, high fielding, very straightforward football, whereas Mostrim are noted for more fast, more fluid football. The purists say Mostrim's type of football is easier to watch, but Cashel have proved with their style that they have been the most successful team in latter years in Longford football, and have almost, with the exception of Mostrim, dominated the scene completely. Mostrim beat them in the semi-final last year. Cashel beat them in the final the previous year. So as you can see, they have played each other on big days on numerous occasions. Goalkeeper Anthony Malia goes to Noel Mulvihill, Nick Casey, Mike Kenny, Paul Carberry, the red-headed Dave Dowd. As we can see, he's number 11 on his back, but we have a rumour that Cashel will have some sort of a switch on. It's envisaged, I think, that Desi or Dinny Bannon will play at centre-half forward, allowing Dave Dowd to play in the corner. And Jerry Farr will be playing instead of Kenneth Rollins, as stated on the programme. Mel Noonan, as we said before, one of the most charismatic figures in Longford football. The man the crowd love to see getting the ball. Can he do enough for his team today? And as both teams now run away to their respective positions on the field, and Jared Victory, son of John Mostrim stalwart fullback, who is our mascot for today. And it indeed will be great for all the Mostrim and Cashel mascots to see these pictures in years to come. The day they were at the county final when Daddy was playing. Treasured memories indeed. And it's what all county finals are about. The tradition and the prestige that is about this county final and every county final. And no two better teams to contest it than, as we've already said, the teams that have dominated senior football in Longford for the last 5 or 6 years. Very shortly now we'll be joining the Longford Town Band for their rendition of Auron Naveen.
Shastagi Anish, Auron Naveen.
You can see from our pictures there, a very, very strong breeze indeed. And as we said, blowing diagonally across the field, but favouring the team playing from right to left. And Mostrim have chosen to play with the wind in the first half. The seam seems to be set now. Terry McGovern check his watch. The Longford town man leave the field. And the 1986 county final is on. The ball is thrown in and straight away. Mick Casey gets the ball. Burley centre half back. He plays the ball to Brendan Smith in space. Cashel immediately on the offensive. It goes to Benny Bannon. He kicks it high. And it's over the bar. Oh, lovely score for Cashel straight away. All the confidence boosted over Cashel. Hardly 30 seconds gone in the game and Denny Bannon has a score on the board. So now the Mostrim team know exactly what it's all about. Cashel proved they're two big men in the middle of the field. They're organised that score beautifully for Denny Bannon. And no more dangerous forward in the county when you give him chances like that. Tom Gallagher with the kick out. Up he comes. The referee has blown his whistle. He's running in and apparently big Johnny Klein was doing a bit too much waving and dancing. And Johnny may not know it, but the rules have changed a good bit since he started. And you can no longer move in front of a kick, be it a kick out or a free at the goals. So Tom Gallagher will have the chance again to kick the ball. And to try and settle his team. His kick is a good one, high, out towards this underneath our press box here, but Mick Casey, obviously straight away he's into the game and dominant very early on. It goes to Denny Bannon. Denny, an elusive character at the best of times. He evades a tackle of Willie Kennedy. He's been tackled by Joe McEnroe. Denny knocks it out. Lovely ball into Jerry Farrell. Jerry Farrell bearing straight on the goals. Colin McGarry is after him. Jerry kicks the ball. It's high. Dangerously dropping around the goals. But Tom McGuinness is there. Tom soccer styles it out towards the wing, and it'll be a line ball to Cashel. Straight away, the Mostrim team now, and Mostrim goals have been hounded. 2 minutes on in the game, and Cashel have shown their intention, despite playing against a very strong breeze. Brendan Smith, the orchestrator of so many of the Cashel moves. And Cashel tend to work a lot of stuff off his frees. The ball breaks around the goals, and as you can see, it will be a kick out to Mostrim. So as we said, despite what we expected was early Mostrim pressure with the wind, Cashel have taken the bull by the horns, so to speak, and they already lead 1 point to no score. Tom Gallagher's men yet to settle really in front of him, and it'll be a few anxious moments for Tom. Up he comes at the kick. Willie Kennedy breaks it. Willie plays the ball, first time down the field. It hops, Mel Noonan. As you can see, the hard ground, the ball is hopped a bit, and Mickey O'Hara has a hefty challenge in there, and Jim Kenny, the bearded Cashel full back. And Jim is getting rather gingerly to his feet. Obviously, but somewhat winded, but Jim will be all right. Henry Kenny comes on, a little pat on the bum, and Jim should be all right. So the kick out now. Joe Mulvihill with the kick. He plays a high ball. And Robin Lane, a very sharp looking forward in the early stages. Mick Casey comes down. He hooshes one, edges on one side. He's brought down. He seems to be fouled, but the referee is allowed the play to go on. He blows his whistle and it'll be a free to Mostrim. Tony Garvey wants to take a quick one. He does. He plays it to Christy Kennedy. Christy plays a high, dangerous ball in towards the Cashel goal. Mickey O'Hara's there. Mel Noonan is there. But the ball evades him, and Anthony Media's there. Mickey O'Hara palms it out, and it'll be a kick out to Cashel. Seemed to be a very dangerous situation there, but Anthony Melia was alert to curb the awesome danger of Mr. Noonan, much to the relief of the Cashel boys. It seemed to go off Mickey O'Hara, but obviously the umpires have given it 45, and Christy Kennedy will be the taker. And just we see off camera here, Mick Casey is hobbling. What a tragedy it would be for Cashel if it was a serious injury, because you can see from even this early stages he really is dominating things around the middle. Kennedy with a good kick in towards the Cashel goal. It's very high into Logan and Noonan. Noonan catches brilliantly. He's being pulled out of it. He kicks it high. Dropping dangerously around the Cashel square. Boots going in for it there everywhere, but the Cashel man has it. in the personage of Mick Kenny. No better man to get a ball in a situation like that. And he knew what to do with it. Terry McGovern gives him the free out, and he relieves the pressure on the Cashel goal. Jim Kenny with the job of taking these kick-outs today. As if he hadn't enough to do, marking Mel Noonan. So anyway, the ball is landed around the middle of the field. Punched on there by Cashel. Billy Kennedy is there. He's been chased by Mike Kenny. His shot is blocked down. Cam McGuinness is there. He's pushed in the back by Mike Kenny, and it'll be a free to Mostrim. Mostrim yet to settle. They're still going, funding a lot of efforts and yet to be positive enough. And this is the sort of thing that Cashel will really feed off. So Kennedy tries to sharpen up his boys. He plays it into the middle of the field, but Mick Kenny is there. Mick has been pulled by Sean Logan, and it'll be a free out to Mostrim. A lot of pulling and dragging in the early stages. Normal Vihill. Jim Kenny now will take this kick out. Normal Vihill, who has a big job on hand today. He has to watch Fintan shoot. County under 21 for Longford this year. But Jim with the kick out. He's getting good distance in these kicks against the wind. Christy Kennedy gathers the ball. He plays it right footed. Mel Noonan is there. Mel sidesteps, one man. He lodges. Oh, mighty kick. Oh, mighty kick. He's dropping dangerously. Yes, Anthony Amelia catches it. Very sound with the goalkeeping there after a dangerous kick in by Noonan. Casey plays the ball high up the field. The ball is broken away. Christy Kennedy is there. Christy does a sidestep and plays the ball high. Obviously this played by the Mostrim team. Liam Tierney is there. Liam takes it high and harmlessly wide. Indeed, Liam was under a lot of pressure there. As you can see, the nature of this game is that Cashel are going to harass Mostrim at every possible opportunity. They know that Tierney's one of the danger men on the Mostrim team, and they were in on top of him like flies that time. You see under our camera here that Fintan Shoot is hobbling, and even from here I could certainly say that he's obviously carried an injury into the game, and by the look on the Mostrim bench he will not be taking part for much longer. I'm warming up a sub at this stage. Tony Garvey leaves the free to Christy Kennedy. Mostrim free taker in chief. Christy with the hands on the hip. Fintan Shoot, as you can see, he's removing a bandage and obviously in serious difficulty. John Smith, Mostrim trainer. Yes, and Lynn has been introduced. Jerry Lynn is now on field for Fintan Shoot. The ball breaks it around the Cashel goals, but Mickey Harris pushed over the line by Sean Melia, showing how cornerbacks should really be able to do their work, and it'll be a free out for Cashel. Jerry Lynn, the number 19. Will he be able to add this bit of punch? A big blow for Mostrim, as Fintan Shoot would normally be used as a midfielder at some stage of the game. And now he removes one of Mostrim's options, but Mick Casey plays the ball low, up to Dinny Bannon. Dinny getting a lot of space early on. He's been chased by Joe McInerney. Joe's with him, he sidesteps him beautifully inside. He's bearing down on the Mostrim goal now. Dinny, he's been tackled by Tom McGuinness, he goes down. And it'll be a free into Cashel. Terry McGovern thinks that Dinny is doing a little bit of histrionics. He doesn't even want anyone to talk to him. He's pushing Henry Kenny away off the field. He thinks that Dinny is all right. Terry, who was involved in an incident here in the Slashers Mostrim game, and he obviously will have learned a lot from that. Dinny appears to be getting up very gingerly, and Brendan Smith will have the opportunity of getting a fairly scoreable free for Cashel. So with a little over 10 minutes gone, the score still remains 1 point to Cashel, no score to Mostrim. Can Brendan Smith add to Cashel's tally? Up he comes. He kicks it. It's a good one. The umpire goes for his flag, and Cashel now lead Mostrim by 2 points to 0. Terry McGovern has it noted in his book. And we can safely say from after watching about 12 minutes of the game, that the Cashel boys are showing all the enthusiasm with which they had when they almost won 3 in a row. And obviously the appetite is still there, and Mostrim have a big task on hand today after they curb the boys in red and black. The ball is dropped around the middle of the field. Robin Lane gets it. An elusive little character he's proven to be indeed. Pat Hughes is there. Pat, Mostrim, stalwart cornerback, plays the ball out to Tony Garvey, but Tony can't collect. It goes to Porrick Garvey. Porrick is grounded by Tony Garvey, and it'll be a free into Cashel. Brendan Smith with the free. We said on our introduction that Mostrim are known for fluid football forward play, but I think Cashel are showing us a fine example how forward should play today. Brendan Smith. Well fielded in there by McEnroe. He's been surrounded by Johnny Klein. He plays the ball left footed out the field. Willie Kennedy is there. Brendan Smith knocks it from him. It goes to Denny Bannon. Denny is shaking and turning. He plays the ball dangerously in towards the square. Pat Hughes is there. And Colin McGarry is there. Collects. Johnny Klein just misses him with a charging shoulder. The ball breaks in there. Tom McGuinness is in on his own there. He comes out. He plays the ball left out underneath the stand there, but Mick Casey is there on his own. He plays it to Brendan Smith. A punch pass to Mike Kenny. He plays the ball in turn to Porrick Carby, a very strong man on the ball. Carby's going through. He kicks the ball high. And it's over the bar. Another score for Cashel. Another score for Cashel. Cashel now lead Mostrim 3 points to 0. And would you believe it, Mostrim have the win advantage. So obviously a very bright opening for Cashel. But the men in red and green have been this way before, and Cashel know that the experience that Mostrim have cleaned in the last couple of years will stand to them and will not be overawed by any margin. So the ball breaks in the middle of the field. Willie Kennedy plays a punted pass up towards the corner for Mickey O'Hara. Mickey is there, but this time Jim Kenny is there. Jim takes a hefty chance from Liam Tierney, but still comes out with the ball. Terry McGovern now gives him a free, and it'll be a free out to Cashel. Brendan Smith takes a free kick in his own full back line. He plays the ball to Mick Casey. Mick plays it up the field. Tony Garvey is there. Jerry Farrell is there. Almost his brother-in-law, Jerry dives. No love lost yet. And it'll be a line ball to Mostrim. Jim Kenny, we've heard from the Cashel camp, carried a leg injury into the game, and it was even doubtful up to the last minutes. It was a very well kept secret whether he'd be able to play or not. But the game resumes. Lovely piece of play there by Sean Malia. He plays the ball to Stephen Tierney. Stephen plays it straight back over the bar, and Mostrim have registered their first score. So the score now: Cashel 3 points, Mostrim 1 point, and about 15 minutes gone in the game. Nice piece of work there by Sean Malia, but his clearance was somewhat astray, and Stephen Tierney punished him. Jim Kenny, in absolutely no rush with any of these kick-outs. He reckons he'll be playing against the wind long enough. Up he comes, a good long run. The ball landing around the middle of the field again. The Cashel men bent on breaking every ball around the middle of the field. No Mulgeen is there. Gutsy little player is known. He plays the ball up the field. But John Victory is there. Porrick Carby is there, being confronted by Tony Garvey. Johnny Klein roving out the field, but John Victory is roved out after him. Dave Dowd, they're trying to break through, but Willie Kennedy pulls on the ball first time. Then he goes as far as Brendan Smith, who can't seem to keep away from the ball in the early stages. But his pass is misjudged by Robin Lane, and it'll be a sideline ball to Mostrim. Colin McGarry, Mostrim stalwart cornerback. Despite his tender years, he's very experienced at this level. Christy Kennedy, nice fielding, but he shot is blocked down by Denny Bannon of all people. The ball breaks out, and Porrick Carby is now there. Porrick plays a high ball in towards the Mostrim corner forward position. but the ball goes straight over the end line or sideline, and there'll be another sideline ball from Colin McGarry. As we were saying, despite his tender years, he's very, very experienced. Up he comes with his kick. Not as far this time, but Liam Tierney is there. Denny Bannon chasing like the terrier he is all over the field. Sean Logan is there. Mel Noonan gets to the ball first. Mel. The roar goes up as Noonan gets the ball. He plays a dangerous ball across the goal to Mickey O'Hara. Mickey O'Hara shoots, it's high. And it's over the bar. So, Cashel 3 points, Mostrim 2 points. And the Mostrim crowd, who have come here in the hundreds, are really relieved to see that ball going over the bar. They really would be expecting to do a little bit better with the wind, but maybe now that they have a couple of scores on the board, they'll be able to settle down and play the sort of football we know they can do. Because at this moment, Cashel are on top. And Jim Kenny, another right out the middle of the field, and Cashel seem to be all over them out here. Christy Kenny with a hefty challenge there on Porrick Carberry, and it'll be a free to Cashel. Terry McGovern, who's had no real problems in reffing this game so far. Both teams are sporting and know each other very well, and hopefully it'll carry on like that. Mick Casey, a good kick. But John Victory's out in front of Johnny Klein. He falls. Bravely holds on to the ball. He's been surrounded by Cashel men. He tries to go out, and Terry McGovern gives him the free. Which he will not take himself. Joe McEnroe will take. Joe, club captain. Will he be holding Sean Connolly this evening? He plays a free. Stephen Tierney seemed to be pushed, but Mick Kenny comes out with the ball. He's been tackled by Stephen Tierney, pulled out of, and it'll be another free to Cashel. A lot of broken play early on, and a lot of pulling and dragging. Mainly, may I say, by the Mostrim players at this stage, as Cashel, like greyhounds out of a trap, they're rearing to go. Pat Hughes comes out. Fine piece of fielding by Hughes. He plays the ball over. Lovely ball to Liam Tierney. Liam now. Little more room than he's had to date, but he plays the ball in, and Jim Kenny is there. Tower of strength early on. He plays the ball to Brendan Smith. Brendan seems to be going slow, but makes the room for himself. To Mick Casey. Mick Casey on a run now. He's gone 20 yards. He's gone 25 yards. He's not his boot. He shoots. It goes to Johnny Klein. Klein, a goal! It's in the back of the net. Oh, a goal by Johnny Klein as Mick Casey runs 30 yards of the ball, loses his boot. He passes the ball to Johnny Klein, and the ball is in the back of the net. And that's the tonic that Cashel wanted. 1-1 to 2 points. And now we hear the Cashel roar from the stand. Now the Cashel team and supporters know that they really have a fine chance now to bury Mostrim, even before half-time. Against the wind, Mostrim haven't used their advantage. And can this goal now act as a spur to them? Willie Kennedy. He's been dragged out. He plays the ball to Tony Garvey. Tony cheeks one side. He plays the ball high down the field. Towards the Cashel 50-yard line. But Jim Kenny is there. What a game he's having early on. He plays the ball high up the field. Garvey is there. The ball is broken down. Willie Kennedy is going for it. So too is Jerry Farrell. Denny Bannon is there, centre half forward, rolling all over the field. Plays the ball up to Robin Lane. Robin Lane, he's in through. He plays the ball in to Porrick Carberry. Porrick Carberry has scored an opportunity here. He shoots. Oh, and it's just wide. Just wide of Tommy Gallagher's far post. So Mostrim are living on tender hooks and living very, very dangerously thus far. And we've almost 20 minutes gone in the game. The score is 1-1, or 1-3 to 2 points. So 6 points to 2. Cashel have a 4-point advantage. Joe McEnroe plays the ball down the field. This time it goes to Mickey O'Hara. Mickey O'Hara, one of Mostrim's in danger men. Mickey looks up, he shoots, and it's all the way. A lovely score by O'Hara. So that brings back the deficit now. 6 points to 3. And points are 1-1 or 1-3. to 3 points. And the Mostrim forward line yet to get the supply that they can use and get scores off. Jim Kenny looking around. As we said before, Jim is in absolutely no rush. Man of years of experience at this level. And they will not, under any circumstance, relinquish this lead very, very lightly. So we have a game finally poised now. It's really very well set up for the second half already. Mick Casey comes through. Oh, another one of these runs. He's been chased by Jerry Lynn. Mostrim seem to have no answer for these Casey runs. Casey is fell to the ground and Tony Garvey comes out with the ball. Garvey plays the ball up towards Mickey O'Hara, but Mick Kenny is in there after. Mick puts O'Hara to the ground and then plays a lovely ball to Dinny Bank. Dinny is soloing up the field, seems to have acres of room. He drinks inside Willie Candy, or at least he tries. Willie holds him back. Then Dinny plays the ball in to Robin Lane. Robin gets inside Colin McGarry. Colin pulls out of him. And as you can see, it'll be another free to Cashel. Cashel playing like champions. And with the men of Brendan Smith's calibre and Mick Casey, Jim Kenny, Mick Kenny playing so well on the day, Mostrim are really up against it. Up comes Smith. Dangerous looking one. Dave Dowd misses it by inches, and Pat Hughes allows the ball to go over the sideline or the end line, and it'll be a kick out to Mostrim. So now Tom Gallagher. Can he rally his forces? Can he get the best out of the men in the green and red? Dropping around the middle of the field again. Brendan Smith once more, plays it to Mick Casey. Getting to be a same routine. Casey, referee gives him advantage. He shrugs off Tommy Guinness's challenge. He plays the ball into Tom Gallagher. Tom Gallagher jinks and sidesteps. He plays the ball high out the middle of the field. Liam Tierney is there. Mostrim will have to rely on Tierney on the likes to try and pull this game almost out of the fire, and it's not going off into the second half yet. Mickey O'Hara plays the ball in. James into Mel Noonan. The man who can do all for Mostrim. Inside. Noonan is inside. He's been chased by Jim Kenny. He shoots. Oh, what a goal. What a goal for Mostrim. And now we have a game. The scores are level. Noonan, the man we said was the most charismatic figure in Longford football, proves. And his adoring fans will go wild with that score. A beautiful score. And now, can that goal waken the sleeping giant that Mostrim have been the first 25 minutes of this game? Jim Kenny now knows what Noonan is all about. Will he be equal to the task? Up he comes. Christy Kennedy gets the ball. It goes to Noonan. Jim Kenny hooses the ball out over the sideline, and it'll be a line ball to Mostrim. So the pace is a buzz now. Teams level. Mostrim took a long time to get into the stride, and now that they have, surely this game is very, very well set up indeed. Christy Kennedy. High kick in towards the goal, but Mike Kenny is there. He does one thing too many, and it'll be a free into Mostrim. Uncharacteristic mistake here by Mike Kenny, and he's arguing with Terry McGorton, but Terry will not change his mind. So it'll be a free in to Mostrim. And despite the Cashel dominance, Christy Kennedy has this ball to put Mostrim in the lead. An easy one for Christy, he should do it, and indeed he does. Mostrim are in the lead. 1-3 to 1-4. And now Mostrim with about 5 minutes left with this wind advantage. Can they tag on some sort of a lead to give Cashel something to aim at? Or are the Cashel men going to come back in? Jim Kenny, once again. There's a lovely ball out the middle of the field where he knows Porrick Carberry is there. Porrick who's been dominating the exchange in the middle of the field. Once again he's been fouled, and it'll be another free to Cashel. Mick Casey will be the taker. His forays up the field are costing anxiety and consternation every time he gets the ball in the Mostrim defence. Denny Bannon. Denny plays a punted pass into Dave Dowd. Dave Dowd now hits the ball high, looking good, but just wide of Gallagher's left-hand post. A good effort by Dowd, and nicely set up by Denny Bannon. As we said before, the Cashel forwards are moving very, very fluid today, and they're given somewhat of an exhibition. But the Mostrim men not to be outdone. Gallagher with the kick out. Out towards the middle of the field. There seems a bit of shoving there. Willie Kennedy gets the ball. His shot is blocked down. It goes to Denny Bannon. Denny has been pulled out by Joe McEnroe to be a free to Cashel. So now, Brendan Smith. As you can guess, the same routine with Smith. Obviously, he's taken all these frees, and they have plans worked from every one of them. This one goes in towards Dave Dowd. Dave steps inside Pat Hughes. He's inside the 14. He shoots. Goal! Oh, straight away a goal for Dave Dowd. We said they had plans worked off these frees. We didn't know they had that one. Oh, what a goal by Dave Dowd. And now the fat is surely in the fire as far as Mostrim are concerned. 2-3 to 1-4. The goal at Mostrim didn't want to concede after just struggling to get back into the lead, and they had not 2 minutes to relax on that lead, and now Cashel are back into the lead themselves. Brendan Smith now knocks the ball to Mick Casey. Mick does another high ball up the field. Tony Garvey is there. Denny Bannon is there. Jerry Farrell is there. Jerry comes out with the ball. He punts it to Dave Dowd. Davy Dowd inside again. Left footed. It's high and it's wide this time. So the score, 9 points to 7. Cashel are back in the game and back in the lead. John Smith runs in. He's obviously making some sort of a change in there in the Mostrim full back line. Or indeed, I think it's Colin McGarry has come out to centre half back. Joe McEnroe has gone to right corner back, and Paddy Hughes is moving over to left corner. From Mostrim in an effort to curb these Cashel forwards have made a change. Will it work? Christy Kennedy now catches the ball. He punches it out to Jerry Lynn. Jerry plays a low ball in towards Mickey O'Hara. Mickey comes out, collects it beautiful, plays it to Liam Tierney. Liam Tierney in an empty room. Liam shoots over the bar. 1-5 to 2-3. 8 points to 9. And now the game, end-to-end football, one could say. When you consider the pressure and the high-tension situation that there is out there, it's been a very fine example of football. And Jim Kenny, the other guy, the pair of Jim, whose injury has not thwarted him in the slightest. The man of steel, if there ever was one. Out he comes. A high ball, dropping around the middle of the field. Christy Kennedy is there. Willie Kennedy is there. Willie plays it left footed, but only as far as Mick Casey. Mick Casey once again goes up the field. He's been chased by Tony Garvey. Tony left on him, but Casey nonchalantly runs through his pass. There's foul and will be a free to Cashel. Terry McGovern, obviously having a word with Tony Garvey, reckons he's doing a little bit too much pulling. But what was one supposed to do when you see Mick Casey coming up the field like that? An awesome threat on any backline. So Brendan Smith, we said they had the plan on every free, have the one on this one. I'm sure the Mostrim backs will be expecting now anything from this situation here. Not so much of a wave, but it goes to Dave Dowd again. Being chased by Joe McEnroe. Inside Joe McEnroe. He punches the ball. It does Bannon. And the quiet game so far does us, but goes to Liam Tierney. Liam Tierney goes the ball to Tom McGuinness. Tom McGuinness plays the ball up to Noonan. Noonan. The crowd roar as Noonan gets the ball. He plays it high. Very high. In towards Sean Logan. But Sean Logan can't get to it and the ball has gone wide. So obviously there's still some fight left in both sides. 8 points to 9, and we're drawn close to half-time now. It depends on what Terry McGovern is going to add on. Another kick out for Cashel. Liam Tierney this time punches it. It goes to Mick Casey. He takes a lot of stopping, and the referee is giving him another free. Indeed, he's blown the half-time whistle. So now, with the score, 9 points to Cashel, 8 points to Mostrim, where it reads 2-3 to 1-5. Cashel, who are playing against the wind, put one of the finest first-half performances that we've seen in Pearse Park in the county final in a long, long time. Can they follow on that first-half performance, take advantage of the win in the second half, and bring the Sean Connolly back home to the tiniest village in Longford? This and more we learn in the second half, and we'll be back to join you as soon as it commences.
Please, a Nissan Sentra 3RX 481 is causing
Townman leaves the field.
obstruction.
The teams are on the field and ready for the second half. Terry McGovern checks with his linesmen and officials, and we're ready for the throw-in. In it goes. Pádraig Carvery straight away. Going to continue where he left off. Straight away he's been fouled by Tony Garvey, and it'll be a free to Cashel. Brendan Smith, as his namesake, John Smith, the Mostrim team mentor, has he put the fire into his Mostrim cares? Can they pull this game out of the fire? Brendan Smith plays a low ball in. Pat Hughes is there. Tony Garvey is there. He slides in on Robin Lane, but Robin Lane gets the ball. He plays the ball left-footed, high, and just wide. A fine effort, but the ball has just gone wide. So just to remind you of the score, 2-3 to 1-5, 9 points to 8. And the 1986 Senior Football Championship final in Longford is but a half an hour away. Is it from Mostrim or is it from Cashel? We await Tom Gallagher's kick out. One wonders what will unfold in the ensuing half hour. The ball is caught brilliantly there by Willie Kennedy. Willie plays the ball high up towards Stephen Tierney. Stevie misjudges the ball. It goes to Mick Casey. Plays it left foot down the field. Goes to Joe McEnroe. Joe catches it and brings it out over the line. Somewhat unluckily, and it'll be a line ball to Cashel. So, Brendan Smith. It's a lovely short pass into Diddy Bannon. Colin McGarry's chasing with him, Colin McGarry's pulling him, and Colin McGarry's fouled him. So Brendan Smith now, with what for him is an easy free. One of the finest exponents of free taking that Longford possibly has ever seen is Brendan when he's on his day. I hope we don't put him off by saying that. Nevertheless, up he comes. Indeed, we have put him off, and uncharacteristically, he puts it wide. So the score remains. Cashel 2-3, Mostrim 1-5. Tom Gallagher. It'll be interesting to see what sort of distance and what sort of variation he has in these kickouts against this strong breeze. Dropping around the middle of the field. This time the Cashel men break, but Colin McGarry is there. Colin plays the ball left and running as far as Mick Kenny. Roving up the field, he plays the ball high, dangerously in towards the Edgestown goal area, and the ball has gone off Pat Hughes and it'll be a 50. So Cashel obviously have started where they finished off. But can they finish off this Mostrim team? Another question entirely. Smith, as we mentioned his bandage before, he's doing great work. There's no sign of him to tire or limp at any stage. Up he comes with the free, dropping dangerously in there, but John Ritchie there, fine catch by John. He plays the ball high up the field. The ball breaks there, and Christy Kennedy is there. Christy plays the ball low, up towards he's coming after. Well, tries to get away, but he's gone over the sideline and it'll be a line ball to Cashel. Mel looks at the linesman in a steely glance, but there's nothing he can do about it. It'll be a line ball to Jim Kenny, his immediate opponent. The linesman wants Jim to put the ball on the line. You can place it yourself, he says, but you can't place it anywhere. Jim resettles himself. Up he comes. Tom McGuinness is there, but the ball breaks for him. Goes as far as Des Bannon. Des tries to get away with it. He chinks, he turns, and he's fouled it. And it'll be a free to Mostrim. Tom, who's had a quiet game so far, but so indeed is Des Bannon. Up he comes. It goes to Christy Kennedy. Christy plays the ball low in towards Mel Noonan. Mostrim's most dangerous forward. Mel is fouled when he seemed to be away at that time. Not much of an advantage in that, but nevertheless Mostrim have got a free. Mel, who lost his boot, but is so intent on trying to beat Cashel, I don't think he realises it yet. Up comes Kennedy with the free. It's a dangerous looking one. It's punched and it's over the bar. Punched over the bar by Willie Kennedy. And the teams are now level. 2-3, 1-6. 9 points apiece. So are Mostrim going to do what they did to Cashel a couple of years ago here in the semi-final? But the very same thing happened. Cashel had the breeze in the second half, but amazingly Mostrim held them scoreless and happened to win the county final that year. If they beat Cashel today, they'll definitely win the county final, but can they hold Cashel scoreless in this second half? A lot to ask indeed. The ball goes in, but Colin McGarry plays a high ball up. Stephen Tierney's there, Sean Logan is there. Jim Kenny comes out, he shrugs off the challenge. He plays the ball to Porrick Carberry. Fine game Porrick has had. Porrick plays a high ball up, but Colin McGarry is there. Mostrim off backline now. It seems to be a little bit more fiery, and can they make all the difference? He plays the ball to Pat Hughes. Pat plays the ball up underneath the stand. He plays it to Willie Kennedy. Willie lets it fall. It goes to Jerry Lynn. Jerry being chased by Mike Kenny. He plays the ball. A nice pass up, but this time Nick Casey is there. Nick plays a high, long relieving clearance. It hops. It doesn't fool Pat Hughes, who pans it beautifully into John Victory. John, yet again, plays another long ball to Jerry Lynn. Jerry, nice punted pass to Stephen Tierney. Mostrim now. This seems more like the Mostrim we know. He plays a high ball into the corner. Joe Mulvihill is there. He's pushed by Sean Logan. The referee says, play on. Mickey O'Hara plays it inside. But Jim Kenny is there on his own, and it'll be a free out to Cashel. So Mostrim posing somewhat more of a threat in the early stages of the second half. Somewhat of a paradox. Will Jim Kenny's men be able to do what Mostrim really didn't do to the fullness of their ability to take full advantage of this breeze? Now, Christy Kennedy. There's a lovely ball into Sean Logan. Sean, lovely sidestep. He's through. He's through. He's being chased by Joe Mulvihill. He kicks the ball high, and it's just gone wide. Just wide there. And Mostrim, Logan had a chance to put Mostrim in the lead, but somewhat unlucky in his finish after creating a lovely opening. So the score remains 2-3 to 1-6. And Noel Mulvehill, obviously second in command at these kickouts, will be taking the kick out. Up he comes. A nice one indeed it is. Yet again is broken now. This time Jerry Lynn. Jerry Lynn is in the space. He kicks high, and once again just agonizingly for Mostrim, just wide. So Mostrim have had two close wides in close succession there. Is it a sign of things to come? Noel Mulvehill trying to rally his men around him now. He doesn't want any complacency to creep in, because they know you cannot give Mostrim, or a team of Mostrim's calibre, 5 minutes in a game and they could have you beaten out of sight. So up he comes. Another high ball, and Mostrim dominating these kickouts now. Plays the ball to Noonan. Noonan, Jinkin, Tony. Plays the ball to Lynn. Lynn. Ball goes into Mickey O'Hara. Mickey O'Hara in the goals. He shoots high and over the bar. The roar goes up, and Mostrim are now in the lead. For the second time in the game, may I add. 9 points to 10. 1-7 to 2-3. The game very finely poised indeed. And Jim Kenny is back in the kickouts. Mostrim seemed to like the way Noel Mulvehill was kicking them out. I think they got the three of them. So can Jim make the big difference in his kick out? He was getting good distance against the wind, and indeed he's going to get a distance with the wind indeed as well. Des Bannon, there's the ball high. Obviously Des Bannon has been switched. Goes to Joe McEnroe, lovely piece of fielding by McEnroe. Played back in the corner, but not one bit put off by that. It goes to Mike Kenny. Mike being chased by Willie Kenny. He's been stolen from him by Willie. He plays the ball high up the field. Noonan is there, but he's beaten by Mick Casey. Mick Casey plays the ball to Brendan Smith, to Padraig Carberry. Carberry streaks inside, plays another pass into Denny Bannon. Denny Bannon shoots, and it's gone wide. Denny Bannon cannot believe himself. The old firm as far as Cashel were concerned. Carberry, Smith and Casey playing the ball to Denny Bannon, and that normally in years gone by you could write the score in your book, but this time Denny somewhat misjudged his shot and it's just gone wide. But nevertheless, lots of time left. We're only 3 minutes into this first half. Tommy Gallagher with the kick. Padraig Carberry in space, bearing down on the goals. A very strong player when he's running at the goals. There's a high ball, and he in turn shows if Denny Bannon can do it, so can I, and he also kicks a wide. So Tom Gallagher, I'm sure, quite relieved that Cashel have yet to put on their scoring boots in the second half. Gallagher, the county goalkeeper. There's a high ball. Liam Tierney is there. As you can see, two Cashel men around him. There's going to be no easy way out here. There's the ball to Colin McGarry. Tony Garner. To Nelson to the Paris Garner. He's been tackled and he's been fouled by Robin Lane. And he'll be a free. Terry McGovern will ask Tony Garvey to bring it back at 2 inches. And indeed Garvey will. So now Tony and his fellow cohorts in the half-back line know they have really a big job on hand here. Garvey plays the ball up the field to Liam Tierney. No, it's Mel Noonan. Noonan plays the ball in to Sean Logan. No, it's Mickey O'Hara. But the sun is putting us off a little bit here. And Noonan. A very hefty challenge on Brendan Smith. The crowd, the roar goes up. But Smith, much to the annoyance of the Cashel supporters, remains down. He took a hefty challenge from O'Hara, and as he was getting up from it, Noonan came in with the shoulder, and you can see the end result. Brendan Smith is down. A lot of anxious faces around there. Terry Lynn has a drink of water. Willie Kennedy has a drink of water. John Smith applies a bit of spray to Christy Kennedy. Pat Duffy is there as well. Padraig Carberry has a drink of the Mostrim water. Brendan Smith flexing his knee. As you can see by the number of Cashel people in there that it's anxious minutes indeed, anxious seconds. He has a drink, obviously he's going to come on for a little bit more. And indeed he is. Typical of the man he is. He'd have to be brought off with a grape before you could get him off. So it's a kick, free kick to Cashel. And Robin Lane gets it now. And Robin Lane wins his free. And Tony Garvey has fouled him. And Terry McGovern, who says, Tony, we'll have no more of that. And Garvey's name has gone into the referee's book for persistent personal fouling. And somehow, Garvey's been unfortunate. He's been the man who's to meet Mick Casey and Brendan Smith and these men running in, and he had to do something with them, so Terry McGovern reckons he'll have to do something different from now on. Casey with the kick. It's a good one, but gone to the left and gone wide. So Mostrim are holding on to this rather tenuous lead, but nevertheless they're holding on to it. 10 points to 9. And Cashel have yet to regain the composure they showed in the first half when they were playing against the wing. Can Tommy Gallagher's men keep this fight up to Cashel? Play the ball is broken, but there's relentless pressure from the middle of the field. Cashel are all over Mostrim out in the middle of the field. Pádraig Carbery kicks, it's high, it's looking good, and all the way. Beautiful score by Carbery. And once again, we'll say it again, the old firm strikes up that partnership again, and the teams are level. 2-4 to 1-7. If I was a betting man, which I'm not, I wouldn't like to have my money on either team at this stage. But even with saying that, Cashel seem to have the dominance. And as you can see from now, their tails are up. Can they make it count? Jerry Farrell, there's a high ball. And Tommy Gallagher is there. Tommy punches the pass out towards Tom McGuinness. He can get it, he does. He jinks, he turns, he plays the ball up towards Willie Kenny, where Willie was tying his lace, or was it Terry McGovern? Liam Tierney is there. Liam Tierney plays the ball, right-footed up the field. In towards Sean Logan. Sean can't get to it. It goes to Des Bannon. Des Bannon plays a long relieving clearance. Down as far as Brendan Smith. Brendan Smith is there now. Brendan punches the pass in too. Shoots, and it's over the bar. A lovely score there by the Cashel substitution. I regret to say we missed him. Obviously Cashel have made a substitution. Sean Millier has gone off and Kenneth Rollins is on. Kenneth indeed has put over a lovely score and vindicated the Cashel selectors trust in him. A lovely score there by Kenneth Rollins, and he puts his team in the lead. So Cashel have obviously strengthened their back division and put in another lively little forward. Will it make the difference? Garvey goes in with a sliding tackle. Mick Kenny is there. Mel Noonan is there. It'll be a free to Mostrim. No, it will not be a throw-up. And kind of a flashpoint, I think he called this. A lot of pushing and shoving. But Terry McGovern seems to have the situation under control. Or has he? The ball is thrown up. The big hands of Mick Casey goes up. Oh, what a roar. What a roar. The Cashel man give him as he gets it. Another one of these charging runs. Garvey pulls out him again. And Garvey will be very, very lucky indeed. Terry McGovern is able to leave him on the field. Persistent fouling. Normally at this stage, if Terry McGovern was to exact the letter of the law, Garvey could be walked. So he'll have to be very, very careful indeed. Brendan Smith, can he put home the advantage? It hits the post. Hits the post, it's blocked. And Tommy Gallagher is there. A let off from Mostrim. Tom McGuinness is there. Still not cleared. Kenneth Rollins is there. Tommy Gallagher is there. Tom McGuinness is in support. Gallagher gives it to him. Tom McGuinness plays it out to Joe McEnroe. Nice piece of play by Mostrim in defence there, but it goes straight to Brendan Smith. Brendan Smith plays a high, dangerous looking ball. Pat Hughes and John Victory are there, and between them it is. Victory gets it. He's been tackled there. He plays the ball, left footed. The tenacity of these Cashel forwards is beginning to tell now. Mike Kenny, half back, plays it in, and the ball is gone. The referee has blown a whistle. I think that'll be a free out to Mostrim. Obviously a bit of pushing and shoving in there around the Mostrim goal. So now Cashel, with the inspirational play of Mick Kenny and Brendan Smith out the feed. Can they extend their lead? 2-5 to 1-7. They've had enough opportunities and enough ball, but still haven't put Mostrim out of their misery. Mostrim are still close enough, it's good enough. Diddy Bannon is there. Diddy kicks, it's high, and it's gone wide. Cashel are cataloguing a lot of wides now. Surely 5 or 6 wides they've had in the second half. And no team, even a team of Cashel's dominance, can afford to keep up that. $11 points to 10. Mostrim get this one. In the passage of Mel Noonan, and the usual road goes up. Plays the ball to Jerry Lynn. Jerry Lynn does. Noonan dives and the ball is got out on the sideline. It'll be a line ball for Cashel. Nick Casey will be the taker. Up he comes. It's a good one. But Pat Hughes is there. So too is John Victory. Victory is fouled as he goes down on that one, and it'll be a free out to Mostrim. Nice piece of play there by Victory. Tony Garvey trying to steal another few inches again. And John Victory will be able to take this free from Mostrim. Up comes Victory. He played in a big game here against against Ardor, 3 big county finals last year, and they're going to need all the reserves and everything to learn from that game to beat Cashel now. Dave Dowd plays a high ball, dangerous looking ball, and then once again another wide for Cashel. Cashel and Mostrim dead and only to bury them at this stage if they were able to put over those chances at the kicking wide, but they have not done that yet, and Mostrim are still in this game. Brendan Smith is there, he plays the ball to Mike Kenny. Right half back plays in another ball, and he in turn shows that the forwards can get wides, so can the backs. So now, Cashel piling on the wides. They lead Mostrim by 1 point. They have a very, very strong wind advantage. Can they make it count? The question we've been asking for the last 10 minutes. Tom Gallagher now with the kick out. There's a Mostrim substitution here. Tom Madden is on and Sean Logan is going off. Ball breaks. Robin Lane plays the ball out to Brendan Smith. Brendan Smith looks up. The shot is blocked. There isn't any partial block. It goes in towards Jerry Farrell. Jerry Farrell dangerous inside the square. He shoots, and amazingly a shot wide as well. Frustration now beginning to get into the Cashel forwards. Can they keep this pressure up? Can they keep kicking these wides? They've amounted an amazing number of wides in only about 10 minutes here. Tom McGuinness trying to swing out of Dave Dowd. He plays the ball into Mike Kenny. Cashel are all over Mostrim now. Mike Kenny's been pulled out by Tony Garvey, and it'll be another free. Another free to Cashel, and another easy chance for them to go another point in the lead. Brendan Smith. Nerves of steel. Who says he doesn't miss. The last time he did. I wouldn't like to bet him on him this time though. The usual procedure. Up he comes, and it's over the bar. The score now, 2-6, which is 12 points to Mostrim's 1-7, which is 10. Cashel are beginning to widen that gap. Mostrim don't seem to be posing the threat they had in the early stages of the second half, or in the dying stages of the first half. Can they rally their resources now at this stage? It remains to be seen. Yet again, the Cashel men in the middle of the field. Brendan Smith. Is there no way that Mostrim can stop this man? Plays the ball in. Willie Kennedy is there. Willie plays it up to Mel Noonan. Tom Madden is a judge to a foul there, and it'll be a free to Cashel. Mick Casey will be the taker. And now Cashel. One gets this feeling from the Cashel boys. They think they have this county championship. They're playing with the confidence and determination which seems to have evaded Mostrim today. Brilliant piece of fielding there by Victory. A brilliant piece of fielding. As he averts another piece of danger. And Tom Gallagher will take the kick out. Indeed, Victory was one of the few Mostrim men on the day, unfortunately, who has shone through. Ball goes out again. Liam Turney trying his heart out, but he's been harassed by 2 or 3 men every time he gets the ball. Plays the ball up yet again. Dare I say it, Corey Kirby plays the ball high. It avoids everybody. Tommy Gallagher is there. Tommy now, a little solo. Looks up. Plays the ball to Denny Bannon. Denny Bannon. He shoots. And it's over the bar. Uncharacteristic mistake there by Gallagher, and Denny Bannon has punished him in the most severe way. Cashel are now 3 points for a goal in the lead. 2-7 to 1-7. Can Mostrim stem this incessant tide of Cashel dominance? Nicky Harris back there, see can he do anything about it? The ball is put in by Cashel substitute. Robin Lane plays it high, and looking goal. What a score. Oh, Cashel really putting the gloss on it now. What a beautiful score there. 14 points to 10. And John McGann has come on in place of Jerry Farrell. Cashel are marching towards the 1986 championship in Longford, and I don't think at this minute there's much Mostrim can do about it. The way they're playing out there, they are absolutely unstoppable. The ball is put in. Pat Hughes, he's not going to give up yet. The ball is played out. Host anywhere at this stage for Newcastle. They're 4 points in the lead. And despite the fact that there's plenty of time left for Mostrim, one gets that impression that if Cashel can keep up this, it would take an inhuman effort on Mostrim's behalf to pull this game out of the fire. McEnroe kicks. Madden is there. He's hoosed out over the sideline, and nothing is going right for Mostrim just now. Brendan Smith, and as you can see, ominous signs indeed. People beginning to leave. Brendan Smith raises one finger. Is it to test the wind, or is there something on here? He plays the ball into the... Kenneth Rollins plays it into Davy Dowd. What a game this man has had. Plays the ball to Mick Casey. Mick Casey kicks. It's high and it's wide. Mostrim, unfortunately, on the day for themselves so far, have not just had the answer to Smith, Casey, Carberry and Cole. And now as Tom Gallagher waits for this ball to come back. When things aren't going for you, they're not just going for you. And as you can see, neutrals I'm sure are going. The Mostrim fellows will not have thrown in the towel just yet. But a lot of neutrals here seem to think that the fat is in the fire as far as Mostrim are concerned. The ball is dropping out towards the middle of the field. Yet again Dave Dowd gets it to Brendan Smith. Smith plays the ball in to Porrick Carberry. Porrick Carberry plays a high ball, dangerous ball, but just wide again.
Attention please. Will Bernie Crossan please come to the press box?
And indeed, if one was to say
Thank you.
that if Cashel were to get half the wides, if they had converted half of those scores, this game would all be over at this stage. Gallagher with the kick out. High dropping ball. Yet again the Cashel men are getting it. There's nothing they can do wrong today. Smith throws a high ball in, it's over the bar. 2-9. 15 points to 10. The margin is now 5 points. Can Mostrim do anything about it? Or is this just the mountain they cannot climb? Tom Gallagher. There's a high ball out towards the middle of the field again. Up goes the fist. And this time the beard of Johnny Klein is out for it. Plays it into Tilly Bannon. Tilly Bannon is being chased by Pat Hughes. He plays the low ball into Tom Gallagher. Tom Gallagher looking up for some sort of consolation. He plays it out. The two Kennedys run into each other, which typifies what's going on for Mostrim today. Just nothing is going right for them. Mick Casey is on the ball now. Will he take the free? No, he leaves it to Brendan Smith. You don't break up a winning routine. Smith points this way, he points that way. Up he comes with the free. He plays it in to Dave Dowd. A fine player, plays it high. Dangerous ball in round the Mostrim square. But John Victory is there. This time he misses it. Jerry Lynn is there. Lynn runs into Johnny Klein. A kind of a big daddy belly attack that was, and it'll be a free out to Mostrim. Lynn, who's lacked nothing in effort or endeavour since he came on. But unfortunately for him and his colleagues, it just wasn't to be their day. Gallagher kicks the ball out. Porrick Carberry plays it in. Ball goes in. McCann plays it, hooses off his foot to Johnny Klein. It's kicked in again, and yet again it's a score for Cashel. 2-10 to 5th, which is 16 points to 10 points, 1-7. And now Cashel are in the home straight. And all bar a fall, as Michael O'Hare might say, they're home and dry. But Mostrim, true sportsmen that they are, they'll keep plugging on. They have this amazing belief in themselves. And is O'Hara going to give them the spur that they want? O'Hara plays the ball dangerously in. But it's collected there by Cashel and cleared. Only as far as Jerry Lynn. Super sub from last year. He plays it in. Yet again into Noonan. The roar goes up. Can Noonan do anything about it now? He plays it in high, and it's over the bar. Over the bar indeed. It goes to 1-8 to 2-10, but I'm afraid Bar Mostrim were to get a goal, a quick goal now, it will only be of academic importance. 16 points to 11. 5 points the difference. Minutes left in this county final now. Jim Kenny is thinking about the rakish paddy, I'd say, at this stage. Sean Melia just making sure that no mistakes are made now. They know well that Mostrim, if they were to get a little bit of luck at all, will be right back into the game, despite the fact that we're running out of time. Lynn to O'Hara, to Lynn. The ball breaks home to Matt, to Garvey, to O'Hara, to Garvey again, Garvey to O'Hara, to Garvey. Putting in a last-ditch effort. He shoots and it's agonizingly gone wide. And surely that must be Mostrim's last chance. As we say, 2-8, 1-8 to 2-10. On the day when glory seems to be going to the boys in the red and black. And their total dominance. And the game is over. Cashel have won the 1986 county final, have comprehensively beaten Mostrim. 1-8, as you can see, Mostrim, Cashel 2-10. Cashel have their experienced and stalwart players to thank. Casey, Carberry, Smith, Denny Bannon. But let's not forget the losers, Mostrim, who've got to their third successive county final. They gave it everything they had, but on the day it just wasn't good enough. A couple of injuries may have thwarted their chance somewhat. But they played it through to the end like the true sportsmen they are. And Cashel, and I know they will be the first to congratulate Cashel under tremendous victory. A lot of heads hanging low in the Mostrim camp, but they'll be back again. Cashel are the 1986 County Championship winners, and Mike Kenny and all the Kennys and the Bannons and Carberries are going to have a big night tonight. You can see jubilant scenes here. Mostrim tasted this last year when they beat Arda, and now Tom Victory, former player with Mostrim until tragic circumstances ruled him out. There we have the teams coming in. Jubilant scenes down underneath us here. Cashelmen just cannot wait to get their hands on this Sean Connolly. Disconsolate Mostrim players walk in. Disconsolate selectors. But they'll be back to fight another day. Cashel will have their moment of glory, and who can deny them? They made hard work over beating Kilo in the first game. Kilo could have bet them, but they went out and hammered them the next day. Against Rathline, they did the same thing. People thought Rathline should have bet them in the first game. Rathline should have bet them in the second game. Rathline didn't beat them. Cashel did. They called an order experience. And today, once again, despite the fact of shooting hundreds almost of wides, and Mostrim in front in the second half, they never give up the ghost. They kept plugging away, as we've already said. Men like Mick Casey, Brendan Smith, Torrey Carberry, Dinny Bannon, Johnny Klein, you can see them all there. They're all heroes today. Every man jack of them. They brought on two substitutions, Ken Rollins and John McGann. And even when it's going to be your day, it's going to be your day. And both substitutes made a big impression when they come on. There we have the scenes there. Noel Mulvihill, Johnny Klein, unmistakable figure there. Joe Mulvihill was there. Had a quiet game, but did all he had to do in the cornerback position. Jim Kenny. Cashel selectors and mentors, family and friends are going to enjoy this. And the Mostrim team, sporting enough, hanging around to see the Sean Connolly, which they had shined up, and Mickey O'Hara had minded for the last year. He'll be sent over now, and Brendan Smith will be able to take custody of it, at least for 12 more months. The wind had a big feature on the game. Mostrim didn't use it, and the same could be said of Cashel. They didn't really use their wind advantage until late in the game. So maybe it wasn't really that much of an advantage. So now we join Mel McCormick for the presentation of the cup. And Mel McCormick.
Yes, very easy, you stuff. Get up here, let's go up.
I would like at this opportunity to congratulate all of the teams that took part in today's competition. I would like to compliment the two teams that fought it out in the intermediate championship today, Abilara and Columkill. We have to wait for another day for the decider on that one. Today is the day of Cashel. I congratulate them. I congratulate both teams on a very successful evening football. The standard of football is very good. It was a sporting game, and that's what should be expected in a county final. I congratulate Cashel on their win. I suppose they took their chances, but they ran out easy winners in the finish. And for that reason, again, congratulations to Cashel. I will now present the cup, the Sean Connolly Cup, to the Cashel captain. And the captain today is Frank Carberry. I haven't been away with forgotten any at all. But ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank first of all the county board for the way they had everything here today. Head on. Next, I'd like to thank the man that took over and done a great job of captaincy for me, Brendan Smith. Next, I'd like to thank three men that have done a great job for Cashel this year. That's our three selectors, Jack Paul, Henry Kay, and Frank Paul. Next, I'd like to thank another man that has done a lot for Cashel, not this year, but in the years gone by. That's our trainer, Peter Bannon. Last of all, I'd like to thank what's out there, our supporters. I thought coming in here today, this game is going to be played in St. Joseph's. And we will take these fellas are all men. That proves it today. I'd also like to thank Terry McGovern, who done a great job on refereeing today. Last of all, I'd like 3 cheers for a very gallant Edgeworthstown team. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! And this goes back to where it belongs. Again, you, sir. There's one other job I have to do here. While the match was going on, we had a few people around the ground to select man of the match. The name I have here has been the recipient of the man of the match before. Yeah, you're right. Mick Casey.
After all the speeches, presentations, congratulations Frank Carberry and Mick Casey, and now we go ahead to Cashel and join the celebrations there. So you join us here in a very happy and jubilant Derrahon, the sun beaming down in this scenic part of Longford as the preparations are being made to organise the cortege and lorries to bring the jubilant Cashel men on their way home. As you can see, here they are coming now, cups waving, flags waving, and who can deny them their moment of glory? Great to see so many people out to welcome this team back. They've done the village proud down the years and will continue to do so with the obvious strength and depth of the show today. Here we have the Sean Connolly, Gleeman, obviously Mickey O'Hara kept it well Sean, and it'll be fairly cleaned out tonight. They put a lot of spirits through it. Kill any germs that might be in it. Jim Kenny, they'll bet the man to throw stuff into it. So here we see the cars moving on. A kind of a royal wave that. The black and red strewn all over the place. Henry Kenny comes along with family, friends. He just can't wait to get over this 131 and into Kenny's to have a little sup of the morning dew.
Hey, you better party, sir.
Obviously all is almost in readiness. Any sign of this lorry? Yes, there she is. We see the lorry up there. Any minute now the heroes will be mounting the lorry. Oh, isn't he lovely? That's the son of Jack Kenny. They're taking the suit out of his mouth. They can put it back in. I think he's not going to wake up. Henry Kenny sitting on the bonnet. This is a great boost for this area when you talk of Port Mona, letting fellas go and everything like that. This county championship win couldn't have come at a better time. Yep, there's the cup now. That's when his mammy won the cup, mammy, and he brings it home. And mammy can indeed be proud of him. He wasn't playing today, but if he had, he would have been with the rest of them. The flag stick mightn't be the best, but the flag is there. They're mounting the lorry now for this big drive and the jubilant and triumphant drive into Cashel. And we'll go ahead and we'll meet them there. So the scene is set, they're waiting for their heroes. You can see not a paper, not a piece of rubbish inside. Obviously a very tidy little place. And now here we have the lorry and we just watch, and we can watch as their heroes go by, cups, teddy bears, trees and flags waving. And we'll just sit here and enjoy the hooting and the tooting.
Across the road.
So now, with the cavalcade and the team and the trailer and lorries and everything gone out of sight, the celebrations are only just beginning. There you see, anticipation as anxious as the team were. So we now go and join and say farewell to Cashel on a very, very jubilant day.
After all that excitement, we're now going to talk to some of the stars that were in action today. I have here now beside me Mike Kenny, and I suppose the first question I'll ask you, Mike, is how does it feel after winning your 4th championship medal?
Well, there's a song that Ray Lynham sings, and he says something about the sweetest of all. This one was the sweetest of all.
Why would you say that, Mike?
Well, we were written off by practically everybody, bar a few very, very close to our own in the club. And there's a few I'd mention in particular, but I'm such a nice fella, I wouldn't mention names, but there's journalists that must feel eating their heart out tonight.
Would you feel sad for them, Mike?
For Mostrim, they're as nice a bunch as lads as you could wish to meet. I would definitely feel sorry for Mostrim, but there's a few around that has written us off, not this year, but for years and up and down for the last 2 or 3 years. But Mostrim, I would feel sorry for Mostrim, and I'd say in the next day or two we'll meet and we'll have a chat and a good socialise. Mostrim, I would feel sorry for Mostrim, yeah.
Were you confident going into today's game, Mike?
I wouldn't say confident, but I believed we would win it. Mostrim were missing John Smith, Kevin Hughes and Paul Connell. We had Robin Lane, Kenneth Rollins, Porry Carberry, a plus from last Who would you like to be like?
Barney Rock
What colour hair is Barney Rock?
and Sandy.
Sandy, like you, is it? Yeah. Oh,
Good man, Gary. You know, and we're over to Michael Allen now. And what sort of a footballer would you like to be like, Michael Allen?
Who would you like to be like? Nicole. Is it?
Charlie Redmond.
Jerry Redmond.
Charlie.
Oh, Charlie Redmond.
Yeah.
Good man, Michael. I have here now with me two supporters of the game. One is from Rathline and one is from Cashel. And the first I'll talk to now is from Pat Fallon from Rathline. And the first question I'll ask you, Pat, is as a Rathline man, what did Cashel's victory mean to you today?
Well, as far as I thought of it was a fine performance on behalf of Cashel for what they've done today. The media says they were over the hill. Well, they live on top of the hill, and I think it's a long time before they'll be over it. That's all I have to say.
Good man, Pat. And I have here now on my right, Peter Hanley. And Peter, you work and with Lanesborough and with Cashel supporters, and also with a lot of other parishes as well. What did the victory for Cashel mean to you today?
The victory for me today means a lot because we've been ran down in the last few weeks, or we're this, that and the other, but I think when it came to the final today, our old men, as they were called, county home men, showed that they were as good as any juvenile team. They showed experience. Mike Casey dominated the whole centre field up along the whole way. Brendan Smith with one leg, it was a credit to him. And I couldn't mention them all because they're all powerful team. And we from Cashel should be very proud of them. They're there this last 10 years at the top, and they have brought more to Cashel than ever before. So I personally think they're a powerful team, and we may see them again next year with a help from a few of the younger lads. I think we have a few great forwards coming on there now. With a bit of experience, we should be able to sit home and add a few goals next year, and maybe bring back the cup next year, please God.
Tell me, Peter, would you have liked to have been out there playing today yourself?
Yes, I would. It would be a great tribute to be playing with them. Some great players there down the years have put in a fierce performance to Cashel. So all I can say is that I hope they come back again next year.
Do you believe they will?
Yeah, I think they can. We have a good few subs on the sideline, good young players, some of them are 20 years of age. And as far as I can see, they're coming up very well. In a year's time, they should have a lot more experience picked up, and the older lads might push another one back to Newtown with the help of God.
Peter, Bournemouth now are on a crisis now at the moment. What has this done for the area?
Well, we'll forget about Bournemouth for tonight. We'll go back and support. We'll go back and we'll have a good crack here tonight, I hope. And we'll talk about Bournemouth tomorrow. It'll be another day.
Thank you, Peter. I have now with me our local representative, Paddy Farrell. And I suppose the first question, Paddy, that I'll have to ask you, what does this victory mean today to the parish?
Sure, it's one of the sweetest victories of the lot, in my opinion. When you take into account all the press reports and everybody was writing off a team, and about this day 10 years, the 9 years, they were home the first championship, and 9 years on the road, they're still capable of taking on the best in the county and giving it their best at any time. When the chips are down, they're always there. I never had any doubt but that Bear Hedgerstown, there's no other team in this county today able to stay with Cashel, in my opinion. And they had a very lucky omen with them today too. I have to say, I thought of it this morning. They're St. Kieran's Football Club, and they have been always called that since the GAA was founded 100 years ago. And they played the second Sunday in September is St. Kieran's Day. And this is the feast of St. Kieran, and anytime they played on that Sunday, he always got them behind. In my opinion, it's a Cashel victory, motored in Cashel, and all credit is due to the fellas who went out and won it, together with all the people behind the scenes down along. There's so many to mention. I won't mention anybody's name because I think it would be unfair, because to the youngest and the oldest member of the club, they're a united bunch. When they may have their arguments about different things, but when the chips are down, they're all there. Everybody's there rooting for the one thing, for victory. And it's a united front when the chips are down.
Now with me, father of, I think it is, 2 sons playing today, 1 son a selector, and is it a grandson? Johnny, how does it feel to you tonight?
Well, I feel the happiest man in County Longford tonight. I never thought that it would have happened. I was reluctant. I was at home today at 1 o'clock. I was wondering whether I go or stay. And Hon says to me, "Oh, Johnny," she says, "go win, lose or draw. Let you be there anyway." She says, "Call back anyhow. You're back early. We'll know Cashel has lost." It didn't happen, Martin. But I'm a very proud man tonight. Cashel was wrote off. There wasn't a hope for them. As you know, Martin, they were all old men. But by God Almighty, they proved it tonight that they were the champions.
Tell me, Johnny, how was your heart there during the match today?
My heart wasn't the best the first half. But by God, I'll tell you, the last half, that was some football. I tell you, Edgerstown hadn't a hope in the world. No, there was no way could they retrieve or beat Cashel.
Thank you very much, Johnny Kenny. With me now are the 2 Henry Kennys, and I suppose I'll have to speak to the daddy first anyway. Henry, he had selection troubles coming into today's match.
Well, Martin, a lot of people said we had selector problems. But to me, we had and we hadn't. We had injury problems, not selectors problems. But thankfully, and it was very hard luck on Frank Carberry that he didn't just make it on the day, that it was our selectors problem.
Well, people might say to you that with Brendan Smith that it was a sort of a ruse, that he was fit to play, he wasn't fit to play. Can you fill us in on that one?
Yes, I can fill you in on that. As a selector, I went personally to Brendan Smith and I asked him what was the position with him, and he gave me the answer. If he was not fit to play at centre field, he was not fit to start.
Tell me, was it easy to be a selector there today for Cashel?
No, I'd rather be playing, Mark.
Thanks, Henry. And I'll just ask young Henry, were you proud of your daddy today?
Yeah.
Good man, Henry. And now we're over to the proprietor of Rakish Paddy's and one of the heroes of today's game. A man that I'd say an awful lot was expected of, and people were wondering whether he would turn it on today. He was a man that was under a lot of pressure today. And I'd say to James, how did you feel, or did you react under that pressure, Jim?
Well, as you all know, I carried a partial blood vessel into this game today, and I thought I wouldn't be on the team. I made the team, and I was very proud to be on the team and to be part of that Cashel team. And this one, I think, is the sweetest of all, because okay, my man might have got away once or twice, but fair play to the lads behind me. They covered up and things come right on the day.
You believe that, Jim, because there were times there during the year when people might have said, well, Jim Kenny, you know, he's past it. Did you ever feel that, Jim?
Yeah. People think I'm past it because I might have a pub or everything like that and I might be drinking a lot. But I sweat it out on the field and I think when it's right. And I proved today to the papers and to a lot of people that I can still play football. In 1977 I got man of the match and here I am today in 1986, 9 years later, and I'm still playing fullback. And I have this is my 4th championship medal now, and I am very proud to be part of that Cashel team still today.
Jim, did you put it in hard for this one?
Yeah, more than ever. I think this one was the sweetest of all, and this is the one we had to go for. And I would like to thank each and every one of the panel, the selectors, the trainers, the 2 captains, and all the people that made tea and sandwiches, brought us milk, brought us everything like that. It was a whole family as far as I could see tonight, today. And there was no place for excuse me there today as far as I can see.
How does it feel to have young Enda there sitting on your knee?
I stood for this Gosson here, and I think he's going to be as thick and as strong as ever I was.
What do you say to that, Enda?
Right.
Yeah.
No.
And thanks very much, Enda. With me here now is Eamon Bulger from the St. Folia's Club in County Roscommon. And I suppose the first question I'd like to ask you, Eamon, is how did you think that the standard of football in Longford today compared with the standard of football in Roscommon?
Well, I was most impressed with the standard of football today. I thought Cashel in particular in the second half gave a tremendous performance. At half time I think things looked fairly well for them when they were 2 points up, but they really turned on the goods in the second half, and I'd say at their best Cashel would compare well with teams in Roscommon, but Clanagale are an exceptional team in Roscommon. But I'd say that Cashel would be up there in the top 2 anyway in Roscommon.
Would you feel that Cashel would be capable of winning a county final in Roscommon?
Well, I think they would find it very difficult to beat, if I'm to be honest, to beat the present Clanagale team. But I would say they would have the potential to do it if things went well for them on the day. Now, I know that today Clanagale won the Roscommon final, but they weren't very impressive, and I was told they were there for the taking if they met a team, you know, hit form on the day, and maybe Cashel, if they were in the Roscommon final today, would have won the Roscommon championship.
Were you surprised in the manner of Cashel's win today?
No, I wasn't. In fact, I was just saying to a few of the boys here a few minutes ago, the only regret I have is that I didn't have a bet on them because I believe they were very good odds. I really fancy Cashel today because I thought they were a much better team than Mostrim going on the 2 semi-finals.
Was Cashel's win a popular one in Ballyleague?
Oh, I'd say so, yes, very much indeed. As you know, there's always great local rivalry between ourselves and Rathline and Cashel, but I think when Cashel are in a Longford final, we support Cashel.
Thanks very much, Eamon. And now I go over to one of the great football servants in County Longford, and that is Mike O'Doyle. And Michael, what were your impressions of today's game?
Well, first of all, I would like to congratulate Cashel on winning today. There's a lot of the Cashel players I have great respect for, and Mike Kenny is one of them. Down the years, you know, he do without his dinner for a game of football, and nobody can take that away from him. But I was delighted myself that Cashel won. I was really delighted because definitely Johnny Klein's goal today now, for instance, a younger player would have grabbed that ball and sell dummies to people that wasn't there, but Johnny just grabbed it and banged it. And I'm delighted for Johnny Klein, a man that started his football in his later year. He's really good. I was delighted for Johnny Klein. Also, there were 3 great goals today. David Dowd's goal was a great one. Mel Noonan's goal was a great one. And I really was delighted. And I won't take anything away from the Cashel selectors. The three great men today. And I think the busiest man of the three of them was Henry Kinney.
What did you think was the turning point of the game, Michael?
Well, as I said, Johnny Klein's goal, the 2 goals before half-time, when you were playing against a strong wind, and get to the good start that Cashel got, that 3 points up to nothing, and that was the really, you know, by half-time they're only a point or something down, so that was the really, and I also think Brendan Smith, Mike Kinney, Mike Casey, and Parry Carberry were 4 very vital men today.
Thanks very much, Michael, and I wish you the best of luck in the junior final.
Thank you very much, Martin Stanley.
Tom, it has been a long, hard road over here tonight, or would I be underestimating it in saying that?
Well, not a long, hard road. We're glad it's this road we had to come when we did lose. That is not to some other areas in the county where we wouldn't be as welcome, or to some clubs that we don't have the close relationships that we have with the Cashel club. And the fact that we're quite happy and graceful in defeat as long as Cashel beat us, because we know that we beat Cashel at the semi-final stage last year, and they were just as graceful as we are now, and that's the way we want to be. But us 2 clubs have a great relationship going, and long may it be so.
Tom, do you think was there tactics involved in Cashel's win today?
No, tactics possibly. Your team finished up as the way it clicked against Rathcline in the last 10 minutes, with Davy Dowd left full and Denny and the 40. But overall, your strength at round, as I said when I was interviewed by the paper, your strength in the centre, the diamond as I'll call it, which is centre half back, centre field, and the centre half forward position. They were your key positions today, and that's what saw you through. You were on top there in them vital areas, and we had no answer to it.
And what about that myth of the old men, Tom?
That is, the old men came out on top today. The oldest man playing got a goal, Johnny Klein, and great credit to Johnny, as a lot of people wrote him off even 2 years ago. He was taken off in one of your matches this year, and he came back with a bang and proved that he still has a lot to offer to the Cashel club yet.
Thanks, Tom. And I'm now with Pat Duffy, Secretary of the Mostrim Club, and I'll have to ask you, how do you feel, Pat, after today?
Well, not as disappointed as I would be if it was any other club. I mean, Cashel, to me last year, are the ultimate in sportsmanship. And I felt that the injury to John Smith last year, which was a pure accident against Johnny Klein, the concern shown by Cashel players for John Smith against Cashel last year was, to me, a pure effort of sportsmanship. They were very concerned, and they offered every advice and every concern they could have. And I think Cashel, to me, are a team in Longford who are pure sportsmen, good footballers, pure sportsmen, and a good club.
Tell me, Pat, you were hot favourites going into today's game. How did you feel about holding the mantle of favourites?
Holding the mantle of favourites, to me, I felt that reaching the final today, we had beaten a Drumlish team who were champions last March, who were tipped to win the championship. Any team that played Jimmy Hannify, corner forward, Paddy Patlan and our fastest man Liam Tierney, Brahand, Kevin Hannify is the sub. When they had 3 county winners in the line, plus Jerry Crow, a former county footballer, to me it didn't make sense. So to me, Drumlish were a much overrated team. Slashers again, likely so. Slashers were much overrated. Didn't deserve the mantle. We beat 2 big names with 2 bad teams, and then we were put in as favourites.
So you're saying undeservedly so?
On the performance, we beat two big names with 2 bad teams.
So would you believe it then that the press were more or less a reason for your defeat today?
I would often always go to the press. The press did what the press offered what they thought was the right attitude towards it. When Galway heard us last week proved it. They were favourites against a core team who had struggled to beat Antrim. I think today was the same. We said last week we hope we don't repeat the efforts of Galway. Galway and ourselves are in the same boat. We were two big names, two favourites after beating two bad teams, which doesn't define the means that we're going to win it.
For next year, Pat, what do you reckon?
While to get where we've got this year, we've been this is our third final in a row. We've lost John Smith, Kevin Hughes, two staunch players. But with all due respect to John Victory, he's taken over a full back. Definitely a man who has played his heart out this year at full back. John Smith sort of hasn't been missed in that position. It's hard to lose two players the calibre of those. Plus Bernard O'Connell, Jerry Lynn appeared for the last couple of matches. It's hard to lose players like that. But again, it's gratifying for Red Club to reach 3 finals in a row. To win 1 out of 3 to us is some consolation. But we couldn't have lost today to a better team.
Well, congratulations, Pat, anyway, for getting that far anyway. And back to I have with me now here Nixer Hughes from Slashers. So, Nixer, how did the game go for you today, or what did you feel about it?
Well, as unusual, I thought it was an excellent game for a long spell. I thought the first 50 minutes were fairly quiet, but I thought the next 50 minutes was the best football I ever saw in County Longford club football. Great scores, up and down, movements up and down the field. After that, Edgestown had a good spell for the first 10 minutes, second half, but there was only one team in it after that, Cashel.
Had you any feelings about the game?
Basically neutral. Like I thought, Edgestown, for a fella from the town, are a nicer team to watch. But if you want to win a championship, you must have it big men up and down the middle. And Cashel had that.
Would you be saying that Cashel would be physical?
Not at all. I thought it was a very clean game today.
Thanks, Nixer. And I have with me now Brendan Lennon from Kilo, who Cashel defeated in the first round. Brendan, if you were out there today, do you think would you have pulled it off?
Oh, it's hard to know. Cashel were there, Kilo weren't, so in over the hour, Cashel deserved to win the game. By all standards, it wasn't a very good game of football, I thought, over the hour. The first half was the best half. Second half was poor enough. But Cashel took the scores in the last 50 minutes and deserved to win by a lot more. But they won the game.
If you were a Cashel man, Brendan, do you think would there have been anything different that you would have done about today?
No, I think Edgestown played a sort of into Cashel's barrow, and especially in the second half. Crowding around the middle of the field, like where you have 4 or 5 players over 6 foot, and Edgestown had no answer to that. So, yeah, no answer. Edgestown had no answer on the day. So they bunched it too much, I thought, in the second half. And Cashel, it took them a long time to score in the second half. But when they started, they scored 4 or 5 points on the trot. Edgestown never replied. So over the hour, I think Cashel did deserve to win the game.
Kilo's hopes for 1987?
I wouldn't have any prospect for 1987 for Kilo. I reckon Edgestown and Cashel will still have good teams in 87. Hopefully we can get there again.
Thanks, Brendan. I have here now with me Michael Casey, who received the Man of the Match award. And Michael, I suppose the first question I'll ask you, Mike, what did the Man of the Match award mean to you today?
Well, I can't say personally it means nothing in particular. It's just probably winning the match is the most important thing. The Man of the Match is only secondary, very small secondary.
Michael, you played a tremendous match all through. Were you particularly psyched up for this game?
No more than normal. I'd say, like, on the run of things, play probably went our way. There was a lot of ball like came just right for me or hop right for me. That's just the way it goes in the day.
Michael, there has been a lot said, here and there, as regards your playing with the county team and that type of thing, but was this performance today sort of something as an up yours to the county selectors?
I wouldn't put it that way. I don't think there was ever any problem with playing with Longford. I always declared for Longford, just the media got it all wrong. Like, I've already declared for Longford this year, so I don't think it had anything to do with today at all.
Michael, was there at any stage during today's game that you thought Cashel were going to lose?
Yeah, in the second half, I would say that in the middle of the second half, it looked very bad for us. We had an awful lot of pressure on, and I think there was about 7 or 8 wides in a row. And when you're looking at it from the back line in that position, it looks very bad for a team. It may not have looked as badly in the forward line, but from where we were standing, like, it just looked as if shots were being thrown at goals and not enough time taken to set up the scores. And generally, a team that does something like that is never gets off the hook. They're normally caught. But today, because we had so much pressure in the middle of the field and because we kept so much ball in the forward line, we were able to soak up that. But that was just one of these days that, as I say, midfield and our forwards are getting everything. But if they weren't getting everything, we would definitely have been caught. I mean, Edgeworthstown came back down the field at that stage, and they looked like they could have stuck a ball in the net. And if they had stuck a ball in the net, like Cashel were gone. And that was only 10 minutes from the end. So, I mean, the game was very close. It may not have looked close to the spectator, but it was very close on the field, and you could sense it on the field as well. Like, Robin Lane's point was really the start of it. And until that point came, we were really under pressure.
On a personal note, Mike, what did this victory mean to you today?
Well, I suppose, having played with Cashel from as far back as '74, there's just something about playing with Cashel. I was just, about a couple of weeks ago, I was asked there how many teams I had played with over the years, and I think it numbers 40-something. And there was always one thing I could say about playing for Cashel, is that above all other teams I've ever played for, there's a fierce commitment on the field. It don't matter what goes on off the field, what goes on in training, what goes on anywhere. When the players take the field, there's a fierce commitment in Cashel, a fierce commitment to win. And it's just, when you play with Cashel players and you've been involved with Cashel players, it doesn't matter what goes on outside or what goes on anywhere else, you always get that sense of commitment and that sense of a kind of determination, a kind of a passion that is among the players that you don't get anywhere else. So I suppose in that respect, and maybe again in another respect, in that a lot of clubs like Cashel who have been successful on the field and have maybe moved to new grounds and built clubhouses and that, they've all come under pressure. But I'm glad to say that our first year in the new grounds and a new clubhouse, that we've still managed to win an old championship, despite everything.
Thank you very much, Michael. I have now with me Jack Farrell, the chairman of the Cashel Club. And the first question, I suppose, that I'll have to ask you, Jack, is, on this night of nights, what does it feel like to be chairman of the Cashel Club?
Well, words cannot explain my exuberance and it's gone. I feel I'm delighted with the way everything went. I was elected chairman of the club as a sort of a stand-in early in the year, and since then everything has gone very well for me, and I'm delighted to be chairman, and especially on winning the county championship today. And I would like to thank all the players, everybody, supporters, for the wonderful turnout, the wonderful support, and everything they have done for us, especially my fellow selectors, the trainer of the team, Peter Bannon, everybody who has worked so hard to make this day the day of days for me.
Jack, your wife must have been frustrated with you at times, because she must have felt that you were married to the club rather than the Cashel team, or rather to her, I might say.
Well, that's very true, Martin, all right. I used to start off in a flurry early in the evenings to go to training sessions, watch the team training, giving a general layout on what was going on, and
oftentimes she would say going out the door, Lord, are you off again? You know, and I'd pass it off by saying it's for a good cause, and I know we're going to get our reward at the end of the year when the county championship comes round, and it has all worked out so well for me, and I think now that she is, even though at times she was frustrated with me, that she's delighted that we won. Certainly she was as happy as anyone I've seen there in Pearse Park today.
Jack, as a chairman, it must be terribly frustrating at times.
Yes, Martin, certainly my first year as chairman was surely frustrating at times. There was times when you would say to yourself, well, God, how did I get into this? You know, when things seem to be going bad and, you know, a bit of needle here and there. But Cashel being such a great club, we had our ups and downs and our disagreements throughout the year by times, but when the big day would come along, we all stuck together, we all pulled together, we worked as a unit. And for me, being chairman of the club this year was something I'll always cherish in the years to come.
I'll put it to you, Jack, this is a night of nights.
Well, this certainly is a night of nights. Really, I'm wondering, since the match was over, am I dreaming or what is happening to me? It's something that I have never dreamed of. But I suppose in a couple of days' time I'll begin to realise it is all for show, and that we got there, and we got there in flying colours. Even though we were written off by the media, and even my fellow workers was inclined to sympathise with me the days coming up to the county final. You know, you haven't to hope, but really I'd like to see you winning. But I had different ideas in my head. I expressed that to the media a week ago, and I think nearly everything I said in my interview with the local press came true, and I'm delighted for that.
Well, thank you very much, so Jack Farrell. And with that, I believe that Jack has one more bit to say, and I'll hand you over to Jack so to finish off this now.
Well, as this is a night of nights for Cashel, for our panel of players, our supporters, and everyone connected with the Cashel club. But there are some people who could not be with us today, could not be part of the enjoyment. And to these people, I have a short note here just in case I'd forget some of their names. The first I would mention is the Cashel club would like to send greetings and best wishes to all Cashel supporters at home and in foreign lands. We have in mind especially Father Sean Dowd of the Kiltegan Fathers. Father Sean is ministering in Nigeria. Father Bernie Casey of the Redemptorist Order, who is ministering in that troubled land called the Philippine Islands. Father Tom Kearney, who is ministering in South America. Father Louis Eustace of the Redemptorist Order. Father Jerry Brennan, who is ministering in Scotland. All these above mentioned wore the Cashel jerseys with distinction in the past. To them especially, a special hello on this, our county final day. Just to let you... Good God. I think you are not forgotten. Sorry. Just to let you know you're not forgotten on this, our final day. And last but not least, a special word A special word of appreciation to Ger Dowd, manager of Hoffman's Ballahadreen, who had the Cashel team looking so well with the set of jerseys he presented to the club some time ago. From me as chairman, a very special thank you to everybody concerned, and it's, as I said, a day to remember. And I'll hand you over to Martin now.
Thank you very much there, Jack. Now, and we have here now the two captains of the day, and I suppose the first question I would like to ask Frank here is, what does it feel like now, Frank?
It feels very great, Martin, but you have to be honest about things. Brendan took over as a captaincy job today, and he done a very good job. The thing about it is, Cashel are county champions, and that's what matters.
Thanks, Frank. And Brendan, how do you feel now after taking over Frank's job for today? Or was it an onerous task to take on?
It was an onerous task to take on, Martin. Definitely was. In the dressing room today, we knew what we were facing. We knew Liam Tierney, we knew Mickey O'Hara, we knew Mel Noonan, we knew the dangers. We were confident we could curb them. We knew we had Mick Casey, Mick Kinney. We knew we had the counteractor, and we used them. And to me, that's the greatest thing, that we knew we had them. Mostrim knew they had them last year. It's like playing a game. They win it one year, we win it the other. The only team that have shown any respect to Cashel. That's why they're the only team to have beaten us. And we'd be going for 4 in a row if it wasn't for Mostrim.
Tell me, was it a pre-arranged thing between yourself and Frank that who would go up for the cup if you did win it today?
That's a question. That's a question to be very hard to answer with a straight face. Frank Carby was, as far as I'm concerned, was elected captain of the Cashel team this year. It was his honour. It was my privilege to lead the team out on the field today. Frank Carby was the captain of the club. He was the captain of the club, and it was his day to receive the trophy.
And I have to ask you, Frank, what was it like to go up there and receive Sean?
It wasn't too bad to go out and receive Sean, but when you sit on the sideline or lie on the sideline and look at Cashel playing today, one of the things that you have to be honest about is that Cashel are great. There is absolute no doubt about that. Cashel are great. The older men on the field, without a doubt, they've told today. They shut down all that they were against. And you have to be quite honest about it. They are the fellas that will lead teams in Cashel in the future.
Well, thanks very much, Frank. And I'd say at this time now we're going to sign off. And the one thing we'll have to say is it has been a great night in Cashel. And it has been very hard luck, I suppose, on Mostrim. But one word, I think Brendan has one more word to say. I'll hand him back to you.
Before you sign off, there's a person here on my shoulder. Now, he has won the Player of the Year in 1977. That has been his privilege. Now, there's another year coming along. I guarantee you that we'll be there in a county final. And who's to put a pound against him? A 101 that he won't win Player of the Game. Now, look at, we are delighted. We love Cashel. And the main thing is Cashel won this evening. With respects to Johnny Lynn, Tom McGuinness, Colin McGurr, Pat Hughes, Joe McEnroe, everyone in Mostrim concerned, Big Mel Noonan, good old character. We are delighted. We are the champions, and we're going to hold it, lads.
With that now, I'm going to just hand you over to Jim Kenny to sign off with the Sean Connolly Cup.
Lads, thanks very much for the last few words. Without Frank and Brendan and Martin and Michael Mulreen, the man that has done the comment or the tape and the whole day, the homecoming and the whole lot, this is our night, lads, and I'm very, very much delighted and to be part of Cashel. For the boys that's each side of me and for the people that come down here and support me. Without Cashel lads here tonight, I'd be nothing. And thanks very much. See you all in 87.
That's it, folks. Away from you. We'll see you in 1987 with Sean. Good night.